Let's move on to part number 2, guys. We're gonna react to Tom MacDonald, America, and I think that kind of sets the stage. This discussion sets the stage for this because Tom MacDonald kind of addressed some of the reasons in a way in a song. So we are going to allow him to do just what he does best. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
I gotta get the lyrics up. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Because if I don't get the lyrics up, I will be pausing every 5 minutes. But let me get that. Guys, I'm excited.
Mr. E, what's up? How are you? Long time no read.
I didn't see Dad and Mike Crosby here yet.
Yeah, where is Dad and the Mike Crosby or Hunter?
Yeah.
I guess they have a life. Not that you guys don't. Hold on. I came out totally wrong.
We all do, don't we?
That came out totally wrong. I'm saying, I guess they don't have to be on every live. They have stuff they have to do.
That's right. Oh my goodness.
That came out wrong. Please don't be offended. What do we go down to? 0 viewers? So she said, I don't have a life. I'm going to go find something to do.
All right. We got the lyrics up for America by Tom MacDonald, guys. Are you guys ready to get to the heart of the message? Let's do it.
Oh, I like the beat.
The USA is getting scarier. Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying. I'm tired of the pissing and complaining. Why you living in America if all you do is hate it? You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation? Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage.
Ooh.
I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power.
Just rewind it back. I didn't hear that last part. What? I know! Teresa, good job on the early fire.
Terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me.
Woo! Wow. Digital Soldier, what's up?
Hey guys, it's getting hot in here.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Woo!
There we go. I think.
Come on, guys. Throw some firebombs in there. The beat is still the beat is so fire. The beat in itself. I just like the way he's just
digesting it here.
Yeah, the visual was just like captivating as well.
There goes Tom MacDonald again. He's doing what he does.
The best song that represents the patriots of this country. Whew.
Yeah.
Wow, that was powerful.
Let me see if I can get this right. Half of Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops and doing their best to take care of us. Have you seen such a rise in crime lately?
Absolutely.
In many cities?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, we definitely can blame. There are several factors
so many
to consider.
Things, yeah,
we can talk about the hip hop music, drill music. We can talk about But part of the reasons this has been happening and it's been proven over and over again. Mm-hmm. Part of that is cops being defunded. You know, even the idea of defunding the police itself could play a role in these crimes. And there's also been a level of sympathizing with criminals kind of way. These criminals been in prison for so long, and we shouldn't abuse them. We should give them less time. And recently there was a crime against this Chinese people, and the people who did the crime were themselves had like 20 felonies and stuff like that, like serious criminals who've been let go by the system, saying, okay, we have kept you in prison for too long. We have to let you go and give you that freedom. And these people went back in the streets, and they were like, one of them were beating a nurse. You're a nurse. Tore a nurse down the stairs. 60-something-year-old lady beating her. And
it's terrible.
And taking this, if you saw that, what this guy was doing to this poor Chinese.
Inside?
Yes, it was
inside
recorded on video.
Jail.
No, he's outside of jail. He's out. He's out in the streets, and he was beating on this poor lady, 130 something punches.
Wow.
To this little tiny Chinese woman. So what's happening? We can definitely blame defunding the police. Even the message itself. Definitely plays a role.
Well, because it causes you to have hatred towards the very people who have been set in a position to protect you. And so while there is no perfection in anything, anyone, any business, any institution, anything from the lowest of the low to the highest of the high, from religion to healthcare to anything, you do not take it as a whole, as you don't lump sum it as a whole and then do things to actually demoralize it, make it that much more of a negative issue. People seeing it in a negative light, like, we need police. We love police. We love good police. We don't appreciate bad police. But are there all firemen good? Are all doctors good? Are all lawyers good? Are all anything? Is all of anyone or anything good? No. So if you say, defund the the fire companies, defund healthcare.
And what's going to be the result?
So you're going to lose key people. You're going to lose, and a mindset has such a huge factor on how people relate and how people respect and how people function. How they function. So people, F the police, that's the whole new wave now. So what are they thinking? I don't care. Call the police. I'm going to do what I want to do. Which puts them in a mindset to have more behaviors, more criminal activity.
Wow. And I think Tom MacDonald is addressing that really, really nicely. Appreciate that.
Pause. I like what Mr. E said. It's not just defunding the police. It's some of these parents teaching their children to automatically fear the police. Fear, hate the police. Exactly. I agree with that. That's exactly what I was saying, like the mindset. So now your mindset towards the police is negative. So you don't see them as protectors. You don't see yourself as needing them or wanting to work alongside of them. So they become the opposition. And that's not okay. Because now how do we function? How do we function in society, our communities? Now our communities have a lower moral sense. Right? Julian K said, if I remember correctly, Tom held back a few months before releasing the song because January 6th happened and he thought people would get the wrong idea.
That was very smart of him. They would definitely do. Wow. Very deep. And again, we're not justifying crooked cops here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, in the process of dealing with the bad ones, let's not condemn the good ones.
You better shut down the grocery stores.
If that's the case.
Because they got donuts and all kinds of stuff that is making us unhealthy. Right? I mean, like, we really have to look at it from a very logical, literal perspective. Are 100% of cops bad? We'll be shutting down absolutely everything.
That would be the case.
It doesn't make sense.
We'll shut down the church too, because we have hypocrites. We got a bunch of hypocrites in there.
Absolutely.
But we're not gonna do that.
I am chief of sinners.
Consider me. Anyway, let's move on.
We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you back your bags. America is...
In America, the freedom ain't free. And it's true. We think that to have the freedoms that we have in our Constitution as American, it is something that is we can just take advantage and not cherish and not value. It's a big mistake, because when you understand what the forefathers went through, like how they had to run from Roman Catholic persecution. Many of the people who left Germany and England, Great Britain to find freedom in a country where they can worship according to the dictate of their conscience. To establish a system where a democratic government, where people choose their leader by voting, right? So these are all values, republicanism, Protestantism, these principles that we cherish as American, where I can worship however I want. I can talk however I want. This doesn't mean I can disrespect you and trump you down. That's not what it means. I believe there's a level of limitation in everything. But what I'm seeing happening is that the same people who are saying, you can't say this, but they're using the same freedom of speech to tell you can't use your freedom of speech. It's so confusing, though. It's like, do you see how this level of deterioration of values in America? And it's not only America, because it's impacting the world. Because remember, when America sneezes, the whole world catches a cold. So it's like the world is like, oh, okay. So you notice, like, if you notice how influential America is, the day we said 2 men can get married, and we voted that in our law as American, not state, not people, not lobbyists. No, the Constitution, the government himself got their hands in that and voted that into law. What did the world do? They all follow suit. It's pretty amazing how powerful and influential we are as a country. So when our values start to be deteriorated, you can almost see the impact happening worldwide. And it's a dangerous thing. I'm glad that he's addressing that.
Yeah. I love what Teresa says. How kind is the offer to help pound kindness? Right? It's so crazy because when I did sit and think about how he's from Canada, so he's even come over into America and has appreciated what America can offer.
Absolutely.
In the sense of being able to have that freedom. But now what do? They're canceling people's voices if they do not follow the script, if they don't follow the narrative, if they don't think how the majority wants things to be thought of so that they can follow the same course.
That's right.
Then you become an enemy and your voice gets removed. And you become, what do they call it? Fact-checked, right? And then you get removed because this has false information in it. Really?
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah. That's not very America at all.
James Maxwell said, the police do not help it either. They like to look at everyone as if they're criminals. The culture police created is also a part of the problem.
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're talking about here. So we have the police with the wrong mindset. We have the community. We have our people with the wrong mindset. So now there's this clash where we can start. What we should be doing is building relationships, building circumstances and situations where police and like-minded people can come together.
Yeah.
And the community can come together and they can start to build.
That's right.
Not continue to defund and deprive them and to make them feel as though they're worthless and not necessary. You know what I think should happen? I think it would be great if all of us who appreciate the police, we go someplace and then those people stay here and get the police off, and then just let all the people who want to defund the police and don't want to see the police and think the police are horrible people, let them stay and live together and see how long it takes for them to say, we need police.
Yeah.
Call 911. Okay, ain't no such thing as 911 anymore.
It's crazy. Well, the people that are pushing the idea is not the grassroots so much. The grassroots, of course, they're just like, the people from the poor. They just say, okay, I'll go along with that. But it's really the people who have security guards, their gates are mad high, and they have cops all over. They are the ones who are putting this idea into our society, saying, defund the police. But you're living pretty well somewhere out there, far from the crimes that you don't even have to call police, because you're fine. But who suffers from that are the people in our culture, and the people are not thinking for themselves and thinking, oh yeah, we're going through this. Yeah, we should defund the police. But you don't realize if you do defund the police, you're gonna suffer more from criminals. And when you want the police to come in and intervene, they're nowhere to be found. That's not very smart. So easily, it's not just the people. Like again, like you're saying, putting them in a place and everything, allowing them to experience what it means to live without the presence of the police will definitely wake some people up. But again, it's the people that are doing it from the top. And these people, they don't have crimes. They're living in their country far away. You have to drive a couple miles to get to their house. And everything is all fenced up. They don't really have to deal with those issues that we deal with in our neighborhood. So they don't understand what it is to go through that. So, yeah. That's a lot being said here. I've heard that. Okay, Roque, you said I heard that Scandinavian countries do things better when it comes to dealing with crimes. Yet, of course, I also heard they are not all perfect either. The truth is there's no perfect system. There are countries who are doing it better than others. But I think when we start to change the system, compromise safety, and create a bunch of man-made policies to appease a culture that is very sensitive, that is very confused and misunderstood in many ways that they view things. It's a very dangerous thing. So in the process of fixing one problem, we create a much bigger problem. We got to be careful with that.
James said to fix the problem, the police should not be the ones running investigations into bad police persons. They never find fault on their side unless it is on a video seen by the world.
That's a good point. And I'm kind of happy with the cameras that, they had to kind of carry and wear. It became a law, I think it was a couple years ago.
Body cam.
So, which helps us to see a lot more that's going on. I do believe there's a lot of corruption, but we're not going to defund the police because they're a bunch.
Government is made up of humans. All are flawed. Absolutely.
Simple as that. We cannot expect perfection down here, guys. We're gonna have stereotypes. We're gonna have those you're gonna have the bias and those who are judging you before they get to know you. That's gonna happen. Whether you are a cop or whether you are not, whether you're a civilian, you're gonna deal with that in this world. I think we can have a better system that helps us to deal with these issues. No matter how great the system is, it's not perfect. But I can tell you, we have a great system, though. We have a great system. If you go to countries such as, let me give you an example, such as Haiti. Okay, the Haitian president was assassinated last year. They still can't catch the guy who did it. And they know who he is. They know exactly who he is, but they still haven't been able to catch him. And there's so many other factors connected to that to show you how messed up their justice system is, how messed up the police and the corruption, how deep it is in different countries. He will help you to appreciate what's going on down here. Like the guy who did it will go on camera and talk. And they'd be like, we know who you did it. You funded this movement. You even gave the cars. He owned a car company who did this. They saw he was his license plate and everything. But they can't catch him because he has the money and he can hide behind his power. And he can do, and people know who he is. But the justice system is so corrupt that there's nothing they could do to stop it. You can't do that over here, though. They know who you are and what you've done, and they got all the evidence against you. You're in trouble. But again, I'm just showing you. Appreciate what we got. Of course, it's not the best. We got to work on things. But if you see what was going on in other places, boy, yeah, it will change your perspective completely and appreciate what we have going on down here. All right, let's move on.
America. Does anybody know what the hell happened to the Patriots? Lately this nation is so ashamed and hating itself. Did everyone forget that people died to pay for this? Ungratefulness, United States gave everything to you just to help. I just want to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family. I don't need your help to understand it was a tragedy. Can I just be thankful for my country eating happily without you trying to guilt me for the genocide and casualties? I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't black or white, it's conflict designed by the system. I don't need your pronouns, all I see is men and women. Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescriptions. If you don't like it, go. Hate it, then don't call it home. We don't need no violence, got no time for all you radicals. Screw your status quo, we're not animals. I won't kneel for the anthem, cause the flag is what I'm standing for. In America.
Okay, Tom.
That's powerful.
Very powerful. I just want to zone on the fact that he says, I don't need your pronoun. All I see is men and women. There's been such a big push right now for gender sensitive pronouns, saying them, sham, they and thems, different ways of. But again, the problem is, it's one thing you want to be called something, and you allow me the respect to make that decision to call you that. It's another thing to say, if you don't call me this, I'm going to get the state involved to force you to do it. It's almost like, so I have to go against my conscience, my belief system, even just regular grammar, in order to appease the way you feel. What if the way you feel tomorrow changes? I also need to change. In other words, why do I have to change according to your emotion or to your perception of yourself? Why do you feel the need to inject upon me your self-perception? If I don't go along with that, you call it hate speech and discrimination. What if I come down with my religious views and put that in your face? You will call me all type of Christian's crazy name, but you can use that. You can use that though against me, and it is okay. And the state gives it a thumbs up.
Wow.
That is part of my problem with that.
That's powerful.
Anyway. Freedom ain't free in America. Got soldiers dying overseas, so America, is say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America, you can hate the government and still love the country. The fundamental values of America are concrete. Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly. They're labels that they use to create chaos and corruption. You can know the history and still be proud of where you're from. Every flag around the world is covered in a little blood. We started out United States, divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love.
Wow. Firebombs, y'all. He's going in.
Yes, he is.
You know, I just think it's so important because that was one of our major discussions in our last live about how
every flag has some blood on it. And so understanding that we go after individuals, not whole systems, not the whole of anything. We go after that person or that situation that is causing an issue. And what they're trying to do is create just an eternal division by making us hate a whole system or hate America. Like, it's almost like people want us to hate America as a whole so we don't function at our highest, so we don't bring unity here. Well, that's the best way to destroy a country.
Exactly. From the inside,
internally. To divide it from within. Yeah.
Internally.
Because if the people in the country know the value of what they have and they're protecting their borders, their principles, and their constitution, you cannot overcome that country. Well, you notice what happened in all history with the fall of Rome, we know with Babylonian and all that. There's always been internal struggle.
Yeah.
It always starts from within, and then it manifests itself from without. Yeah. And I think some people, they love to see Americans destroying each other. Yeah. It works in their favor.
It does, because then they can just keep pushing. I mean, so many different things happen from division of a mindset, of a debased mindset, of a division mindset. So many different things happen from how you function in society, from your health, from how you see things, for what you vote for what you believe. That division mindset has such a huge impact. It's like that's one little pebble that just has a ripple effect that touches every single aspect of society and of how we function in this world and how we either co-sign or don't co-sign with the narratives that are being pushed. There is, so it seems like, oh, that's not a big deal, or this is how I feel about that particular system or this the government or this person, but we don't understand. When you have that subconsciously, you're living and functioning in a way that's going to continue to show that deterioration in every aspect of your life.
Food for thought. That was really good. Well said. What do we have in the chat room here? Go ahead, Liam Shave. You said, I believe they are only men and women. Also, I agree. If those people that tried and force you to believe this or that, I have no problem with. Leave me alone, and I'll leave you alone.
Exactly.
Fine.
I mean, the freedom of perception and thought process and speech, those are things that we should not be taking away.
It should never be.
We should not be taking it away.
And I think we should, at the same time, we shouldn't be afraid of being challenged for what we believe, you know. I heard somebody said, if you want to know how much you believe and how much of your belief you really believe in, allow somebody else with an opposite perspective to challenge you. And the point is, when you are being challenged for what you believe, it helps you to really reevaluate your belief system as a whole. And in that process, you learn something, you grow. And I think what's happening is there is this pushback, you know. And if you study anything about how postmodernism came into place, is this theory of you can't think for yourself. They're going against the Bible. It really came after the rise of secular humanism. You can see, like, after the French Revolution, secular humanism and Darwinism came into place. Postmodernism was the result, and the whole idea is to reverse everything, you know, and to switch everything. Even feminism was attached to it as well. So in the process of trying to help society to be better, they end up going too far in the fixing process, and they create another problem. And now people have to push back against that. Like Tom MacDonald, what he's doing is pushing back against the system who's been saying, we are marginalized, we're trying to fix this and trying to fix that. But in the process of you fixing this and fixing that, you're stripping me from my own freedom of conscience. You're stripping me from my ability to speak for myself. You're stripping me from my own free will. So we have to push back and say
one extreme to the next.
Yeah. It's a problem.
David Kendall said, I thought, like I said, I'm a former cop. I urge people to go to their local police department and see if they allow ride-alongs to see what officers deal with on a daily basis, especially on this day and time.
No.
James Maxwell, just going to say, as someone who was first handcuffed, then beaten and tased by 6 cops at one time, that 98% figure is not accurate. Thank you.
James.
Wow. So thank you for saying that. And that's what's so important. We cannot lump some people into the same category. It's not okay.
It's not.
All is a gigantic word.
Wow.
That you just cannot.
Thank you for your courage for sharing this, man. Appreciate that.
Megan said China has a 30-plus page plan from 15 years ago that describes step-by-step how to take over America with mental warfare. The premise was they know they cannot beat our military. Exactly.
That's exactly true.
So what I was going to say is about the mental warfare, that once you debase someone's mind, then they start to just become easy to puppet, easy to move and to sway. They have no firm foundation of belief or morale or ideal for themselves, and then boom, here's what you have. You have people who are easily able to be moved and swayed in whatever you say, and so your narrative and your agenda can easily be pushed through because people aren't going to fight back because they don't even know how. They don't understand the mental brainwashing that they've experienced or that they've went through. So now you hate your own country, so you're going to fight against your own country, and you're going to beat up your own country. So what happens then? Someone else can come in and say, hey, this country is better, and you don't want to go over there either. But because you've been so brainwashed, you've been so hateful towards your own country, you don't even realize what you're doing. You don't even realize how you're not supporting the land that you live on.
Right. But you cannot change, the people who live in America, a lot of people, not all, have an issue with America. And what's crazy, people that are outside of America, like, the immigrants and everything, they're like, I'm trying to come in. I'm trying to come in here because we know, we got issues over there. We're trying to escape from war. We're trying to escape from corruption. We're trying to come in here, make it through your borders and everything, which is wrong. But you have to look at what motivates them to even want to come here. And we're saying, oh, we don't want this. We got this issue. We speaking against everything that's going on in this country. And there are issues that need to be addressed. But the others are saying, the others are saying, man, if I were only here and I was able to wake up and go to work peacefully and drive a car and just to have my family and have a roof over my head, I'll be glad. So the things you guys are complaining about, we have yet to, we wish we were able to walk a mile in your shoe over here. So
yeah.
Yeah, all right, let's finish with Tom MacDonald, guys. Tom is on fire.
United States divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you can say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you back your balance. America.
That was awesome.
That was powerful.
There's some firebombs in there. That was awesome. I love the visual. I love the beat. I love the tones, and everything that he was saying is spot on. As much as if people don't want to agree with what he's saying, literally packing your bags and going and finding the greener grass is an option.
You can go ahead, man.
It's very, and I'm not saying like it that. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful, but I'm saying it is an option, and it's not to say it in a disrespectful way. It's to say it as, why do you stay?
Yeah.
And when you really start to self-reflect and evaluate that, you might have a change of heart. I had to self-reflect on why I thought some things, because let me tell you, when it comes to the Native Americans, not even my own people, I felt worse for the Native Americans, who to me have had an even deeper, a deep-seated pain that is almost like, this is where I used to live there. I used to do this there. I used to live on the East Coast and kind of have been pushed backwards. Like, I had a deeper pain for the Native Americans that I had to then open up my eyes to understand, like you said, every flag has blood on it, and it doesn't mean that the core values of what have been established aren't real, and they aren't to be valued, and they're not to be upheld. So living in the past and just saying, you know what, forget this whole country because of what they did in the past, that's really ignorant.
That is.
It's not an acceptable thought process, and it's not one that will help growth. It's not one that will provide unity and help people to see beyond what happened, because we all, in our own lives, we can see that we have a past.
That's right.
That we've done some stuff, and so if we live there,
how would you like to be held to that past? As you are growing and changing, becoming a better person. How would you like for some? Nobody likes that. I don't like it, to be held to my past, especially when you know I am making effort to change, to be a better person. Give me the benefit of the doubt, at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, what do we have here? Okay, guys. Thank you for the fire bombs.
Yes.
Appreciate that. Yeah, Thomas. So we're gonna have him on the channel next time we do a live stream. I thought about that myself. Very powerful, though. He's very balanced.
Wow, James. Sorry to hear that happened.
Wow. Thank you for sharing this, James.
Powerful. S-Rib said, I think we could all say we'll help the haters pack their bags. We would even hold the door open so it doesn't hit them on the way out. And give them $5 for some tip money or something. Give them a $5 tip. Right?
Give them some restitution money.
Michelle said, there's a lot of officers leaving because of the hate for law enforcement in today's society. Nobody wants to be a cop anymore. I can totally feel that.
It's scary.
I can totally feel that, because now you go out and you wonder, like, am I going to encounter someone who is going to name call me and thinks that I am just a person who would put my knee on someone's neck? Do they think that I'm that person? Do they think that, do they connect me with that person so closely who I've never met? I don't know. I have no connection with, period, except for the fact that we both are in the same industry. So now we can take it even to there. Is Tom MacDonald in music? Is he a musician? Yes. Are there many musicians? Now, do we hate all music because of one person's bad lines, bad lyrics, because of the music industry and what they are doing to people? No, we still support musicians who are standing for good.
That's right.
So we just have to change our perspective.
You have to look at character, content, substance.
It's integrity. It's the person themselves. You have to take things as individual matters and circumstances and deal with them appropriately, individually. That's right. Now, some things in systems can be better. Yeah. And any system can improve. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that can't be improved upon. Yeah. So when you understand that, then you say, okay, what is it that is causing the division between the police and the community, or causing police officers, as one person commented, to have a negative mindset where they think everyone's a criminal, or causing criminals or non-criminals or whatever, community people, to feel like they want to function in this way? Let's work on bringing people together, people who are trying to hold out and not tell on the criminals because they have a, what's it called, like clout, or they don't want to be a snitch. Helping to break down that mindset. Like, do you care about your son? Do you care about your daughter? Do you care about your community? Do you care about your husband, your wife, your family? Good point. Because crime has no limitations, and crime doesn't have a home. No, it might be more susceptible in some areas, but it is everywhere. Yeah. So, and this is where you have to look at it from that standpoint. And when you look at it from there, then you'll be able to make sound decisions as to why you should tell on that criminal, why you should appreciate your police, why you should say, hey, let's have a day where we have police come into our community so that we start to build and not just reject them for what this person did in this state and this city at that time.
I love that idea. The cops do have a responsibility to gain more of the trust of the people that they work with.
Two-way street.
Yeah, they do have a responsibility, because a lot of cops have corrupted, done a lot of bad things. And they have a job to do as far as building that trust and confidence. And at the same time, one thing somebody said earlier, instead of learning to fear the cops, learn to respect the cops also, because we have a lot of people who just they take advantage of the temperature of our culture, and they will use that to disrespect the police and record their video on Facebook, and then you only get portion of the story. You're like, what was happening prior to that? Before this cop did what he did to you, what did you do that motivated so there's a lot of things to be. So there's a work that needs to be done in the home with parents and children. There's a home that had to be done with the police station, but the government also have a place to do. The state and all that is a serious problem. But it goes back again dealing with character, how you respect people, how you look at people. It goes back again dealing with your own personhood.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Guys, are you guys ready for the next one? We have reaction video.